I'm streaming and my mic's open, just so you know. You can still talk. Just be aware. Let's see. Alright. It is Dragonkin Day. I fixed all of this. Why? Not you. Not you. I was like, what's going on? I fixed all of this yesterday. Much better, hopefully. There we go. Okay. Filter by power. We are on Dragonkin. We're gonna do strong versus Dragonkin. Grab the Death Talon Whelp Guard. Who else did I have yesterday? Or the other day? I think I had Kalandu. Moonfire. Oh, we need one more to round it out. Huh. Why not? We'll toss them on there. Day 2. Turn my volume on my headset back down. My goodness. I think that's about how it went last time as well. And that's it. And now I have my round counter. I fixed all my add-ons last night after the stream. So I do have all my add-ons up, which is nice. Let's go ahead and track all the Dragonkin battles. Well, for Kalimdor. Is we'll swap over to the mage for Northrend. And then of course we'll swap over to my alliance character for all the Eastern Kingdom stuff. And I need to pull up my enemies list. Not that it's a huge deal, because obviously none of these guys are like wildly difficult. But we can get a good rotation going. So, let's see, this is who? Keela, I think. Critter, critter, beast. Hmm. Ooh. We'll do that. So we'll rip Toxic Bite. Or we'll Toxic Bite, rip Fade. We'll have him here. That'll be a good one for most people. The Obsidian Proto-Whelp. Like I said, not that it matters a huge deal. Could probably just do it with Tail Swipe, honestly. But might as well have fun while we can. So we'll rip first. Why not? Take that. Oh, nice. Might be able to finish this if they don't. Yep. We'll go ahead and just utilize our Dragonkin buff while we can. I did report this, so it's when you hover over the swap or the forfeit. Oh, 1096. We can just go ahead and call lightning. There we go. Basically, we're just traveling backwards from our route yesterday. Nothing too terribly complicated. I'm just, using the pets while I'm still playing, I guess. Right, strong versus mechanical. Let's see who we can get. That'd probably be a good one, like the Twilight Whelpling. You like Dark Flame, Twilight Fire, and Wing Buffet. That'd be pretty good. Why not? Probably do Soul of the Aspects. We'll grab one of these guys, because why not? And, my Hope Flutter has been revoked. Revoked. Oh yeah, the Obsidian Warwhelp. Why not? We'll use you instead. Okay. I like this team. Let's go. So we're gonna Dark Flame. Oh, I grabbed the wrong ability. Whatever. Doesn't seem to matter all that much right now. Oof. Ouch. I haven't even taken any damage yet. Oh, I spoke too soon. Who should we grab? Actually. So you can interrupt that if you have like a stun. I'm trying to think which one wouldn't interrupt. So I think you can use like a 1-round interrupt for the repairs, but you can't for hibernate on the beasts. It doesn't work. Pretty sure is what I found out yesterday or a couple days ago when I was trying to interrupt. What's his name? The bear pet from Major Pain, whatever his name is. I think I tried to interrupt his hibernate and it didn't work. He's kind of between. We'll go to the first one. That one's gonna be Dragonkin. It is over 300 speed. So I've got that. But I think what I did last time, I had something that could stun. It doesn't have magic pet, so it goes... it goes Dragonkin, Beast, Critter. So I guess we'll just, since there's nothing fast enough with a stun, we'll grab you. We'll stun it. We'll grab Stormy. Or actually, you know, we'll grab the Stormborn Whelpling. And then we'll have Stormy in the backline. I don't think we'll even need Stormy. We might not even... Only reason I'm gonna be using 2 pets is so that we can stun. So we can stun the Dragonkin. Just because I don't like them being able to use the ability they want to use, which is Evanescence. So we're gonna stun it, we're gonna swap, we're gonna take out the beast pet, and we'll continue attacking until they use Evanescence, and then we'll swap. So we're gonna stun here. Swap to this guy. So close. Maybe. Yeah, I figured that's what was gonna happen. Lame sauce. Actually, we'll just keep going. I don't know why I hit that. Like... AI is so funny. Because what did that do? That did nothing. That gave me health. See? Didn't even need Stormy. I would have laughed if I died there. Let's make sure it's tracking so far. Okay. I just don't trust them with their track record. Haha. The track record for tracking. I'm hilarious. Okay, let's go to Carnum's Glade. And that's Murda. So Murda is it aquatic first? I feel like it's aquatic first. No. Actually, I don't know if you're in chat or not. It is not character locked. I did have a point. So Flip was asking if the quest to battle each trainer is character locked, because they picked it up on their shaman so they can do Northrend a second time today. So if you're going through this chain for the first time, you can absolutely battle each one twice today. You need to make sure that you do the battle them first, I think, because if you do the daily first, like, it's weird. You can definitely get it to where you can do 2 battles in a day. I did it on the PTR. I feel like maybe you have to do it, go out and fight this person first and then do the daily. Otherwise, one might complete the other. But for the most part, yeah, most people, if you've been doing pet battles, this is probably going to take you at least 10 days. I know I don't have access to any of those quests. Might be faction specific, though. Because I know when you get like the Tamer's Northrend, the Tamer's Eastern Kingdoms, those are available for both Horde and Alliance, and I think if you get it on one, you can get it on the other. Like, I can go through the chain on a Horde character for the Horde side, and then I can go through the chain on a Alliance character on the Alliance side. And I think if you did one but not the other, you can pick it up for the other faction. If I'm not mistaken. But the pet battle stuff's always been kind of weird. I was right. Aquatic first. Elemental critter. Aquatic elemental critter. Trying to remember. I think I used this. So Call Darkness, Nocturnal Strike. Now, unfortunately, we don't really have much option here. So I think what I did is I just grabbed a Nexus Whelpling for the middle. And then for the critter, I just grabbed this guy, if needed. So, let us begin. Like, none of the Eastern Kingdoms or Kalimdor ones are going to be super complicated. Like, I wager, except for maybe the all-mech teams, you could probably... Oh, yeah, that's right, I remember. That's why that didn't work last time. That's okay. Because that. So obviously it's quicker if he doesn't use Cleansing Rain on round 1. But not the end of the world. We're just gonna keep going with this. I don't think that's... Yeah, I figured that... Oh, that's cool. Thank you. I mean, you killed yourself on me, but... I guess we'll just switch right to the Soralisk. So basically, the way most of the teams are going to work is you're going to have one pet on the front that might be able to solo everything. And then your second pet on your team, so like my second pet's the Nexus Whelp, is going to be there to deal with the second pet on their team if the first pet can't, like, finish the second pet off. And then your third pet on your team is going to be there if that first pet can't quite make it. So really, your pets 2 and 3 are just mostly going to be backup for your first pet that can probably solo the fight. At least for Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor. I think this one's Beast. It's Beast, Critter, Beast. That's right. So let's grab... We're gonna grab Stormy. Stormy's been my buddy this entire time. And then we'll grab you. We will have something with... Well, let's see. We'll have you here, just in case. We can't quite get the critter down because they do have the reduced hit chance. And I could bring a pet to cleanse that off of my active pet. But the problem with the lower level enemies is they mostly just spam their abilities randomly. So even if we cleansed it off, They might just apply it right after we cleanse it, so there's really no point. Like if it was a static fight where the enemies use their abilities in a static manner, we could work around it and plan. But at the end of the day, these enemies using their abilities randomly, not a huge deal, just because they're so weak. Like, not to not to put too fine of a point on it, but they're so weak that it really doesn't matter. We're gonna start with Thunderbolt. Maybe they won't use... Usually they use the heal first. Not always, obviously. And there it is. So it's Stench. It reduces your hit chance by 25%, which kind of sucks. But like I said, they're so weak that the chances... Yeah. The chances it's going to be a huge deal are pretty much nil. And so even though he's dead, we'll just bring in the Stormborn Whelpling. And we'll just tail sweep. We don't really... It always feels worse to miss things that have a cooldown. But there we go. So another funny thing with the tamers is that sometimes they'll pop up over here for you to complete, and sometimes you have to actually talk to them. Like, they can't decide... They can't decide how they want to set things up. Right, so Annalyn's next. We're going to fly there because I'm lazy. Oh, but the dragon riding's faster. Yeah, but this allows me to do other things. I did finish doing all of the Zufu stuff. I did let Aranesh know that everything's live. So hopefully he'll be able to get the section for Midnight up. Obviously, as you can see from most of these, you're pretty much single petting the Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms. So honestly, it's not going to really be a big deal. I'd say you can do most of the fights with just the Stormborn Whelpling in the lead. Like, honestly, I'm gonna use the footage that I have that I'm going through today, but for the most part, I'm tempted to just put out video guides for like each individual NPC, and just have, like, you don't even need the video guides for it. I'll do it for the Northrend fights because the Northrend fights, they're a little more static, and there's a couple of if they do this, do that. But for the most part, that's not really anything you need to worry about for Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdom. So I might just put out, like, just picture guides with a single pet in the front on the team, and just a suggestion for pets 2 and 3 on what to bring to clean up, because really that's all you need. And of course I'm gonna throw in rematch strings, not that it's gonna, like, just to make sure, like, if it loads up that you have like a level 25 Dragonkin, so that you can use the rematch to make sure that you don't accidentally slot something, kind of like Flip did yesterday, having a level pet in one of the slots. So I might just do that. That would probably be quicker. I do need to check something on the sim though, because if we... So you can't automate the battle. But... So let's clear this. But you can clear the enemy team. Wait, hold on. Choose a pet. So... We're fighting Annalyn right now. So Mr. Pinch, Oozer, and Flutterby. Double search. So you can manually load their enemies from the list. But what I wanted to make sure of was they're not rare, right? I'm pretty sure they're common quality, but I wanted to make sure in-game everything matches. Like, I have all of the stats and everything written down in my document that you saw, but let's see. I'm just gonna leave my team like this because it doesn't matter. So let's look at her stats on her pets, and then we'll verify that they match. So they're all common. 1475, 220, 220, yeah. So you can load this in, right? And I guess you have to add the behavior for these guys. I don't know exactly how Blizzard programs it to use it like as randomly as they do, because you don't... it's a different kind of programming than just a script, so I can't actually script the fights, if that makes sense, because it's just kind of like they do almost like a roll, like, oh, I'm doing a 1 of 3 roll to do this ability or this ability. They don't actually like have like, oh, well, you know, apply Shell Shield and then apply Renewing Mists and then snap and then apply this when it falls off, or apply it before it falls off and then only apply this every 5. Like, I don't know exactly how they have the fight scripted to be random, because it's not actually a pet battle script. It's it's actual programming type of randomizing language, if that makes sense, where you don't really script in pet battles to have things be as random as possible. But you can have them over here to just like be in. And so basically what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the team set up over here, have this over here, and then I'll just sort of have instructions. Like, I'll screenshot this and I'll have instructions off to like the side or something. Because like, honestly, you don't even need video for it. Like, there's no point. But anyway, let's just go ahead and get this going. Once we get our Dragonkin buff, we'll do Thunderbolt. I know it does weak damage to Oozer, but it will do more damage to Flutterby there on the back line. And then this should probably kill Oozer here. And then... yeah, Cocoon Strike's really the only thing you need to look out for with these guys, with most of the moth flying pets, and then the sleep. But we're still only on the first pet. We could still theoretically bring in the Stormborn Whelpling. And could I have made that fight faster by picking pets that would do strong damage against them? Yeah, I could probably get that fight down pretty low. But obviously you don't necessarily need that. So I pretty much one-petted that again. Like I said, you're just gonna be able to one-pet most of this stuff. But yeah, I think that's just what I'm gonna do for most of these fights. Is I'm just going to have images and stuff. And I'm just going through everything on stream just to, I don't know, have fun. Sharing the joys of using uncommon pets before my sub runs out. Let's sort by power. Let's just wreck these guys a little bit. I will use little Frostwing. That'll be fun. And then, quite literally, you can use whatever you want. Or, let's see, who has Dragon's Call? Dragon's Call is always kind of, it's been fun to use when you're doing the family battlers, because it gets a boost when you have more Dragonkin on the team. That one's always fun. And the second and third pets are Dragonkin. I'll just grab a Nexus Whelpling. Trying to think of like which ones we don't see a whole lot. Oh, this is the pet that I modeled all of my emojis after, or my emotes, whatever you want to call them. All of my Twitch emotes. This is the one it was modeled after. It's the Azure Windseeker. He's so cute. So you're gonna be faster. Alright, we're getting ready to go wreck Zoltan. I don't think there's anything else for me to do today. I already updated the article. I do need to do the Your Week In. I did update this. I updated the header. I guess I can get rid of these spoilers ahead. Like, because it's already all in game. There. And for anyone who's not aware, please do be aware that some of the vendors do have peaceful pets, so if you're not interested in spending currency on pets that can't battle, I do have them separated out in the article by combat pets and peaceful pets. And so the reason this one says 12/17 is because technically we're getting 17 pets that are able to battle total, that were data mined, but only 12 are going to be like for sure 100% collectible when the expansion goes live. I'm actually wondering, because it said the Twilight Highlands is part of the pre-patch event. I might go do it, I'm not sure. It is kind of the middle of the day. It might not be too bad. We'll see. I do maybe have sparring tonight. But yeah, it's there should be 3 pets because there's 3 pets located in the Twilight Highlands. I think that they all are combat. Not that. Okay. So the emeralds, well, I guess I'll maximize it. So the emerald spore bit's 1. So you get that from Twilight Highlands. It's reskin, and it's got the same exact move as the other magic spore bit that we got, the purple one. This one's cute. So this is I believe this is the only pet with this model. Oh wait, no, not that one. See, that's part of the Prey Seeker thing. My bad. Where is it? Okay. So I think this was the one that got pushed to live in Koresh that came up in our journal as Baby Observer Green. Like, that's what it got pushed to live with as the name. And then it was removed. But his name's Radar. He's probably another one of maybe the pre-patch pets. And then Scruff, just randomly an undermined dog. It was like, oh no, we need to do something with him. But yeah, it looks like if those pets are part of the pre-patch event, then they do all have abilities. So that means when 11:06, oh, so close. That does mean that when it goes live, we're gonna have even fewer pets to go live with. So instead of 12, like when Midnight officially launches, it will only launch with like 9 battleable pets. That's it. But I will double check. I'll be flying by the Twilight Highlands anyway. Oh no, not the interrupt. You threw off my groove. This hit like multiple times. I don't use it very much. Man, if you're not faster than these guys, they'll wreck ya. I'm gonna wreck it. He usually lifts off. Oh, not this time. Bam. That's okay. We'll just use a heal here, because why not? So you definitely could have done that faster. Doesn't really matter. But we'll run by the Twilight Highlands. We'll check it out. We'll see. Alright, Moonglade. Oh my goodness. What a day. Oh. Ah. That's so funny. I guess because I watched my own stream and I have drops enabled, I was able to get the little Murloc decoration that I'm never going to use. I guess I do not have notifications enabled. Oh, I've got to connect to Streamlabs. Hold on. Oof. Let's see. We try it again. Generate token. Authorize. Copy. Did that just not copy? There we go. All right. There we go. All right. So I'm sorry I missed the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. We should get notifications now. It's been so long since I've streamed. I was just like, I don't know, maybe my notifications will work and I don't have to do anything. So everything's connected now. Perfect. What is her team? He's gonna be up here. There we go. Dragonkin, Magic, and Random. Oh, sorry. I don't know why that says random. Oh, I think I was like, oh, they use their abilities randomly. And I was like, they all do, basically. So Dragonkin, Magic. Let's grab the Wandu again. Magic. What's your speed? 240. Oh, that's so funny. The power Nexus Whelpling is faster than it. We'll keep that one there because that'll just help take care of that. And we'll have... Yeah, buddy. How fast are you? 267? That's too bad. That would have been fun to have in the first slot. Yeah? Are we having big feelings about it right now? I don't know if you can hear him or if the noise gate keeps it from hearing him, but my silly boy is making lots of noise. Weird that they didn't add Pandaria Draenor Family Battler achievements instead. That would have made more sense, but I guess they're saving that for future content. Yes, I believe you're correct. So, my working theory right now is they're either... So, to drag it out as long as possible, they are either going to... So if they're going to drag it out as long as possible, you're just getting new achievements at the beginning of each new expansion. I don't think they're going to do that. Generally, what we see is that we get a new achievement set in... If it follows the War Within, we'll get a new achievement set for... what is it? We'll get a new achievement set for 12.1. That might be Burning Crusade. I really don't know. You can hear him. Yeah. He's loud. You get a new we'll probably get one for 12.1. I don't know if they're gonna skip Burning Crusade. I don't know why they skipped it in the first place. Maybe it's something to do with the coding. Maybe they forgot Burning Crusade came before Wrath of the Lich King. I don't know. And then that'll be it, right? Normally for a 0.2 expand or a 0.2 patch, we don't get any more like battle content. And then once they get Burning Crusade out of the way, then they'll do Cataclysm. And no, wait, sorry, Pandaria, maybe. Crap, hold on. I don't know. There's so many expansions at this point, right? So yeah, so they'll probably do Cataclysm, which isn't going to be very big because there's only what, like five of them. So maybe they'll save. Maybe they're saving the smaller ones for like the second content thing. So like in 12.1 we'll get Burning Crusade, but then in 13.0 we'll get Pandaria. And then for 13.1 we'll get Cataclysm, and then they'll still have Draenor. And then after Draenor, the only ones that they could feasibly use that are already in the game are like Mechagon and Nazjatar, the Abhorrent Adversaries, the world quest that they added halfway through Dragonflight. So the 8 they added that didn't get family achievements. So Sharp as Flint, Adenicon, Paws of Thunder, Liver, like those ones. I'm not sure that they do the Forbidden Reach. That seems a little silly. It's 4 battles and you can only battle them when it's up. So I mean, like, at least those ones aren't like the ones we're doing right now, where you can run alts through them. And then obviously the War Within, like, they don't have anything. Like, we did Family Battler for everything that they gave us. So really, unless they change their mind, once we get through all the, like, the little guys in Shadowlands, if they even think to use them, then that'll be it. That'll be all the battle content they can give us. Hence why everyone's like, it's not sunsetting, you're still getting content. It's like, yeah, thank you, genius. That's why it's called a soft sunsetting. And honestly, this isn't content. like let's be for real right now. Yep, soft sunsetting. It's exactly what it is. And it's sad. But I mean, honestly, what you gonna do? I can't believe that didn't kill him. Oh well. It's close though. Bet you they're gonna Cocoon Strike. Oh, they didn't! Oh, it was a bad choice, buddy. I guess they could also make achievements for clearing battle pet dungeons with specific families for even more content. Though, no idea if that's doable even. I think for some fights it might be kind of doable. Like, it would definitely be doable in the early dungeons. Like, you could do that in Wailing Caverns, for sure. And probably Dead Mines super easily. But once you got into things like BRD, like, there's probably... It would be... So BRD, trying to get family achievements done in there, would kind of be like the dungeon version of Shadowlands, trying to get some of those family achievements done. Like, I'll be going back through Shadowlands soon. Right now I'm working my way back through Dragonflight. And I'm adding scripts to, like, all the fights because, like, I mean, what do I have to do this next expansion? Quite literally, like, nothing. And my sub's running out, like, anyway. Like, I'm not resubbing. I got Midnight refunded. Like, I'm not gonna play anymore. So I'm just going through Zufu's and I'm just adding scripts to all the fights to make sure everyone has, like, the win rates. And if the user's been gone for, like, several months to over a year, then I'm updating their fight to generally with the same pets. The only time you're going to see new pets added in is if they have empty slots that were just like, oh, any beast, and having that additional specific pet takes the strategy from like 70% win rate to like 100%. So I'll add in a pet, throw a script on there, but mostly I'm just going through and getting everything cleaned up because at the end of the day, most of the people who make strategies for those fights, I mean, they're done. They've made the strategies. So it's more like archiving at this point, I guess. But yeah. All right. So for Trixie, I believe I kept Kalandu. And then the second one's a beast. So second one's a beast, last one's flyer. So let's grab Stormy or Stormborn Whelpling. Well, who do we want? We could do Stormy. I think we'll do the Stormborn Whelpling. For slot 2. And then for slot 3, we'll have the Nexus Whelpling again. Pretty easy team. I have 2 kitty cats on my desk right now. They're probably telling us, is it lunchtime? Is it time to eat? Okay. They were just fed. So they're just being silly. Actually, so the white cat is probably on the desk because the gray cat's on the desk, and the white cat likes to affectionately menace the gray cat. Well, and the people, but mostly the gray cat. If he could use Arcane Storm first, but no, of course not. Yep. That's always... See, that's the problem with randomizing. Like, all they did was spam wild magic, and that's super boring. Super boring. We're just gonna go ahead and swap. Make this a little quicker. I'm gonna tail sweep first. Ooh. Well, this is gonna hit for less now, but that's okay. Because even though that happened, we can do that. That'll hit Lizzie on the back line. Oh, and it crit, so that was a fun little crit. And we'll just go ahead and switch. And we'll, Mana Surge. It might be over right now. Nah, close though. Because don't forget, they did change Mana Surge. It doesn't do a flat damage for that first one. There's a damage range. I don't remember when they changed it. I think it might have been in BFA when they made a bunch of other changes. But Mana Surge does a range of damage on the first hit now. I don't even know what that means. Okay. That's just randomly Like, I didn't get any gear there. That was really weird. Alright, now it's time for Zunta and Dagra. And then we'll switch over to... Do we want to do North? Yeah, we'll do Northrend next because I'm using my Horde Mage and she's on the same server, so we don't have to worry about like maybe disconnecting if we swap servers. And then we'll do Eastern Kingdoms last.
Historically,
Oh, okay. All right.
you know, company has garbage for now.
Yeah.
Um, Back in 2024, I shorted that stock, and I was like, "Yeah, let's just see what happens." And it moved against me by about 20 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Triggered the buyback, lost about $30. That was in 2024 when it was $5 a share. It's at 80 cents a share right now, and about to be delisted.
Wow.
It's a gut punch. Every time I see something, I know I'm right. I know I'm right. And the broader market's like, nah. But yeah, actually. But not until I throw you out of it.
I know.
Thanks for listening to me rant.
You're welcome. Oh, and by the way, Aranesh's I think we saw it yesterday, but their post broke 1,000 likes on the forums. Uh, it has been funny. Someone the last post on their thread said we really need to pin a picture to the top of this thread of the Squidward meme going, "No, Patrick, pet battles are not going away because of the Pal World lawsuit." And they're not. So there have been people who actually work with patents who have looked at it and said, "No, like the WoW system's totally fine." That's not why Blizzard is getting rid of the pet battle system, basically the soft sunsetting. I can't say get rid of because they're still giving us quote unquote content. So it's just basically, yeah, they just don't want to do it anymore. Like, and honestly, people like big streamers who say, oh, pet battlers aren't real players and things like that didn't help the situation because that's who they listen to. They listen to the big name streamers and everything. And you know, that's their prerogative, but it's not just pet battling. I have said multiple times on many occasions that WoW will live and die by its casual content, right? You start cutting out all of the casual content and you're going to start bleeding numbers because the people who are less likely to have churn, so those, you know, subbing and unsubbing when there's new content, are the people who do the casual content. We're your consistent players. But you know, that's not what they want to hear or see. So they're just going to keep cutting casual content for the as someone pointed out in the forum post, the bleeding edge of the bleeding edge, you know, that less than 1% of the player base. That's who they're listening to, that's who they're focusing on. And those are the people that generally unsub when there's no content and they go play other games. And it's people who pet battle, people who fish, people who like doing their professions and all of that who stay subbed even through content droughts. And the funny thing is there's less downtime between patches right now. So I can kind of understand how the general populace is doing pet battles less because pet battles is downtime content. But in reality, a lot of the filler content they've had, like Dastardly Duos, I don't personally know anyone that enjoyed the Dastardly Duos. I'm sure there are people who did, because you can't, like, there's always going to be someone who enjoys content. Like I know someone who absolutely loves the Shadowlands and all of the content, when I would say most of the player base, like in general, didn't enjoy Shadowlands. So you're always going to have people that just will enjoy the content, but for the most part, I don't know anyone that liked Dastardly Duos. And so things like that. And so instead of probably doing that content, you're going to have people who come in and, oh, well, instead of doing that, I'd rather go do pet battles today. Or a lot of people in the forums have said that the first type of world quest that they look for when they log in to fill out whatever they need to fill out, they look for the pet battle world quest first. And we're not getting any of those in the War Within. Like, that's not happening. Um, and it's sad. And I know some people have said, well, it takes up a lot of dev time to do pet battles, and I can tell you, based on the fights that they've been putting out for the last couple of expansions, no, it doesn't.
Copy paste. Copy
Yeah,
paste.
it's they they're not they're not static scripting the battles. They're basically just letting most of the enemies randomize everything. They are just kind of throwing enemies in with just really random abilities, random stats. It's and using them randomly. So I can tell you, no, they're probably not spending a lot of dead time. Honestly, the most time probably goes into just making the pet skins. I would say that's where a lot of the time goes, because I was giving feedback to someone specific for like the ability sets, and there's no rhyme or reason to some of them. Like, you know, I get if you don't interact with the system a lot. it it's just like, oh yeah, this will be cool or whatever. Um but for most of the rest of us, we look at that and we go, what exactly were you trying to do here? Like, I'm confused. So no, I would say they are not spending an inordinate amount of dev time on these battles. I can promise. But it is what it is. So we're going to go through, we're going to do all of these. And once Aranesh gets everything up on the site, I will, I'll get some stuff up, but really, like I said, Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor, you're pretty much just gonna one pet most of it. And then the second pet probably won't even matter. But, alright. Oh, someone's using their Nomelia. Like, that was a great addition, honestly, to the humanoid battle set. Nomelia was great. It's such a waste to retire a game system that's so fleshed out instead of finding ways to revitalize player interest in it. Exactly. I 100% agree. I think the biggest crime against the pet battle system has been people just going, oh, it's just Pokemon and WoW. And I always preface this by saying I haven't played Pokemon since, Red and Blue on the Game Boy were current, right? Like, I haven't really played Pokemon since then. From what I remember of the Pokemon system, the WoW system is way more intricate. you know, there are certain fights where you really, really, really have to strategize, right? Like, you're not just going in and saying, okay, you know, I've out leveled this enemy by, you know, 100 levels, and, or I'm exaggerating there, obviously, and I have strong damage against them with this attack, and that's it. Like, that's all I remember of Pokemon, is you could always out level the enemy and just have strong attacks, and, you know, Bob's your uncle, you win. And so I think the biggest injustice is just 100% saying it's a one for one of Pokemon, because it's not. And when I did casting for the PvP tournament, almost everyone's comments once that's done is them going, I didn't realize how much there was to the system. And that's pretty much the comment I get across the board, because, you know, depending on these various factors, that's why this happened, or that's why this didn't happen. And, you know, that just, to me, personally, sounds a little more in depth than the Pokemon system. But like I said, I always preface it with, I haven't played since Red and Blue version were like current content on the Game Boy. And it is a little unfair to say that there's been a lack of player interest in the system because there's been a lack of content. I will say I have to tip my hat to the Dragonflight devs. They did a lot of really cool stuff for pet collecting. Like, there were a lot of, like, just little, like, not big secrets like Ball, right? But there were a lot of, like, little cool secrets that you could figure out on your own, that you don't need, like, a whole Discord of people to try and figure out. And that was really cool, right? Like, me just randomly sitting down in a chair in, what was it? Not Dragon Blight. I am thinking of the wrong, me just randomly sitting down in a chair in the Azure Span. I think it was in Ronin's Shield. Just randomly sitting down in a chair, I was able to find a, you know, quote unquote secret pet, like, or a hidden pet. And that was, you know, that was really cool. But, and they had a lot of those. And I think it was great. They did a really good job with that. And then in the War Within, we had almost nothing like that. Like, they just completely cut all the coolness of it out of the pet collecting aspect. Like, normally I don't have fun doing the pet collecting stuff, but in Dragonflight, they made it kind of fun. And then, you know, the battles, they came up with some cool concepts, like the Forbidden Reach enemies. That was different. And that was really cool. That was interesting. And then just in the War Within, it was like we went right back to Shadowlands, and it was just so disappointing. And the worst part is that they don't give you any breadcrumbs to this content, right? They don't make announcements about it. They don't include it in any of their promo stuff. They don't push any players toward the content that they do make. And so when no one engages with it, because they don't know it's there, right? And then it's all lack of player engagement. It was like, that's not how that works. Yeah, the concept of catching wild pets and battling trainers makes it reminiscent of Pokemon, but the battle system itself is very different and much more strategic than Pokemon. Yes, that's what I try to tell people, and they look at me like I've grown an extra head. They're like, no, it's just Pokemon. And I'm like, it's not. Oh yeah, that's right. So on this one, let me actually pull up the video I did for this one, because We don't have any... We don't have... Yeah, see, deliberate retreat's not an attack. We don't have any Dragonkin pets that have critter attacks. So let me see what I did for this. Where are you? Oh my gosh. There you are. Alright, let's see what I did for this one. Okay, the sprite darter. Oh yeah, I think I did that. I let them switch me out. Brought in the bronze racing enthusiast. Okay, primal cry. And then I think I did that until the bronze racing enthusiast dies. Yeah, brought back in the sprite darter hatchling. Okay. Ooh. Can you tell I did this on the PTR and not with this? Not with this pet? Actually, we could probably just make it... We'll probably just grab the Nexus Whelpling. And then I think I had Chrominius to take out the third pet if necessary with Howl and Surge of Power. Oh yeah, felt like they were trying to bring interest in pet battling back in Dragonflight, which made me hopeful, but then they just didn't follow through. Yeah, exactly. And I think the biggest crime of like the pet battling for Dragonflight was they did a lot of really cool stuff, but then they didn't funnel players toward it, right? And then they refuse to fix anything. So like I think the biggest frustration for people were the whelp dailies, like the whelp racing stuff. Like that was interesting. Like that's cool. We can do that, but if you don't fix it when it has a problem, like how are people supposed to, like, what are people supposed to do with that, right? I could have done this better, but I don't care. He's just a filler pet till I can bring the sprite darter back in anyway. It does get us the Dragonkin buff though. If it'll hit. Hey. And then maybe we have time to change it. I don't really care about it landing. I just want it to change the weather. Oh, well that was handy. I'll take that crit. This is so much easier when I have the cooldowns up here, because I definitely did not on the PTR. I didn't feel like messing with the add-ons on the PTR, so basically I just, I was like, well, we're gonna wing it. I can't see what he's doing. I wasn't gonna look at the, I wasn't gonna look at the log. So. We don't really need to track the Northrend stuff, but why not? Go get them. There we go. We're just not gonna track it. I don't know why I'm keeping that. I doubt that they're gonna change their mind or fix anything with pet battles, but I mean, I guess it's the same reason why I'm not just like giving away my entire pet collection. Because maybe there's some part of me that's like, maybe they'll see the error of their ways. Will there be guides on Zufus for these? I did let Aranesh know. I don't think any of us were expecting. I don't think any of us were expecting the achievements to be doable on pre-patch. That's generally something that's saved for when the expansion is live. So I did let Aranesh know that the achievement sets are up. I'm not sure when he's going to be able to get to them, but he does know, so hopefully he'll be adding them soon, and we will have them up hopefully by this weekend. Like, that's, that's my hope. But there should be. Alright, thank you. No problem at all. No, we'll just keep Chrominius. He's just a chill guy. He's chilling back there. I think I'm slower than the first pet. No, I'm faster. Cool. Cool. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's not quite enough, and I don't want him to hit me with Burrow and get the extra damage, so we'll do this while he's underground. Get a little bit of damage. We'll call lightning. And then, because we're almost dead, we'll just stay on him. Rip. And we'll bring in Stormy. Stormy's been my buddy. He's been great. He was a great addition. He's I forget how you're supposed to farm the currency for him, but I know you need 1,000 of it, which isn't shocking considering how Blizzard does currency. So yeah, these fights are more static. So they're easier to work around, which is nice considering we'll go to Beagle, then we'll hit Okrit, and then we'll go up there to Major Pain. But because these guys have a little more health, a little more power, it's definitely better in the long run to have the fight static. Now, some of them aren't like 100% static, obviously. Alright, so for Beagle, we're going to do the Nexus Whelp. Then we're going to bring in this guy. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, and then Kalandu. So because this will always hit when blinded, actually, hold on. Frog versus Flyer. Anyway, so we want this because if it's an always hits, that means it won't miss. And Beagle's aquatic pet does slippery ice, which reduces our hit chance by 20%. Which is, very rude. Not gonna lie. Let's just grab an Emerald Proto Whelp. We haven't used him yet. We're just basically gonna Emerald Bite until, Alright, they're both 341. He's a cutie, though. Little dreamy whelp. Yeah, there's probably only a couple fights where you kind of need to sort of pay attention to what's going on. Most of those fights are out here in Northrend. So, like, Major Pain, you have to put some effort into how you're strategizing just to help counter what your enemies are doing. But for the most part, like I said, Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdoms, you're going to be able to one pet, like, solo most of the fights. And then if you want to make them quicker, you can have other pets that do strong damage that you swap to. But for a lot of the fights, that won't be necessary. But I know exactly what's going to happen. Aranesh is... Because Aranesh lives in the EU. Aranesh is going to add everything while I'm asleep. So I should probably get my, like... I should probably use the sim to get my strings and the strings and my scripts going. Now, the sim does have the fights for Northrend, like, in the sim. Like, you won't actually have to go and select the enemy's pets for those ones. However, I believe the only ones that are scripted are Algalon and Major Pain, which means... So, like, for Gut Wretch's first pet does his moves in a static manner. I think the second pet does a little bit, but the third pet's just kind of random. So, at the end of the day, right? Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. He's trying to teach these guys to fly by having them jump off the cliff. And it's like, you're a little sadistic, buddy. But yeah, so it would be randomized. The one advantage of scripting for randomized fights when they're static in the game a little bit is you're pretty much if you can get it to 100% when everything's like super random. Ah, crap. I forgot about that. It doesn't matter. Then you're good, right? Like, if you can get it to 100% win rate when it's random, you can definitely win it if it's static with the script anyway. And that's it. Well, I mean, that's not it, obviously, but we'll just stick around with this little guy. We're probably gonna miss because we're down to 70% hit chance. Anyway, I did the swap in because I wanted to be able to use the always hits, and then the fact that we're faster meant we were for sure going to get that Call Darkness hit, and then of course we were for sure going to get the Nocturnal Strike hit because it always hits when the target's blinded. So I knew we'd be able to take out Warble in 2 hits, which is why I used the stun swap strategy there. So like I said, it's a little more strategizing, but is it necessary to just win the fight? No, absolutely not. You can probably go into that fight with like a triple Nexus Whelp team and you'd be fine. Right? Like, because your first 2 are flyers. And with a triple Nexus Whelp team, you don't even have to worry about the sleep because you've got Arcane Storm up and you can't be slept during Arcane Storm. Like, the only thing you'd have to contend with is the fact that the third pet will just, it does randomly use its abilities. I think they all three of those ones just kind of use it randomly. Except that first round, I'm pretty sure they almost always use Slippery Ice on their first round, but not always. It's just a high chance, not a 100% chance. So it is what it is. You could probably just go in there, triple Nexus Whelp most of these fights down, I'd say, even the ones with mechanical pets, because you're just way more powerful. But probably, so Major Pain definitely needs a little strategizing going on to get everything, like, sorted. Awkward a little bit, right? Because he's got a Dragonkin and then a couple of undead. So maybe a little strategizing there. So, and for Nearly Headless Jacob, that one's kind of fun to strategize just because, like, the first couple pets sort of use their abilities statically. The first pet for sure. The second pet, I believe so as well. Like, they always open with Call Darkness, and so. But again, the strategizing around it is fun, but not necessarily necessary the way it is for, like, Major Pain. Hence his name. All right. Speaking of that, what are the speed values? Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have it in here because it's in the sim. But yeah, so if you see these little markers here next to an enemy, that means that their fight isn't scripted, which means it's just like it'll just use whatever. See, Awkward. So 289, 289, and 260. Which means I don't think I have... We could use Furious Surge to get faster, but... that one is an attacks first. Dark Whelpling. I want to use... could use the Nightmare Whelpling. The biggest problem is the first pet has a whatchamacallit. Has basically a lift off ability. So I would prefer something that's speedy. I'll just grab you. Sprite Darter Hatchling. It doesn't have to be strong damage. And then, I believe, is it 2 Dragonkin or 2 undead? It's 2 undead. Actually, I think I was using you to counter them. And then... you know what? I have the video. I should just pull it up. I'm like over here trying to figure out what I did, and I have a video of it. Oh, I used Emigosa. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I do have the Sprite Darter, and then I have the Obsidian Warwhelp. Okay. Oh wait, did I just minimize it? I did. Okay. So Emigosa. The Obsidian Warwhelp. With that. Okay. Let's go. I need to move this. Surge forward. Pulling surge. I have no idea how all of my skywriting stuff got all mixed up. Like, I'm not quite sure. But let's go. And doesn't kill him. This, I think he'll do Frost Breath next and then Ice Tomb. Maybe. No, okay. I guess he is a little more random than I thought. We're gonna go ahead and use it just to avoid that, and then we'll still be dodged when that has 1 round left. Yeah, that should hit for more. For some reason that happened when they removed Vigor from Skywriting. Oh, okay. I was wondering, because generally I don't have it all mixed up. So I was like, did I just mess up a bunch of my characters' skywriting stuff randomly? Like, I was so confused. I could have used dodge here, but like, it's really not a big deal. No, we're just gonna decoy because we can. Alright, we just have Major Pain left in Northrend. And then we'll hit up Eastern Kingdoms. Yeah, no, I thought it was me. I was just like, I guess I just went through and messed up everyone's, like, skywriting stuff. Like, I, I guess I'm just a little stupid. Oh my gosh. Mm. And then I was even more confused. I was like, so this is like, even on characters I don't normally play. But good to know that it wasn't like me. Happy that I get to blame happy that I get to blame Blizzard for yet another thing going wrong, I guess. No, but seriously, I was like, how did I mess up this many bars this badly? Like, what is going on? I do know that, like, I logged in and I saw. Because on the PTR, I don't care about my transmog, right? Like, it's. I try to make sure, like, when if I'm recording, like, I don't get my character in frame because I'm just like, I'm not gonna take the time to go transmog on the PTR. That just seems silly. If you're not checking for any kind of transmog bugs or anything, right? But then I logged in yesterday and I saw like all of my characters' transmogs had been wiped and I was like, "Oh man. All these characters just look busted." Like they're just all their armor is all mismatched and everything and I'm like, "Ooh." The only one that didn't have to worry about that is my alliance character And that's because I just left the set that she had. Like I was like, okay, that looks fine. I'll just leave it like that. So she was the only one. I did go and transmog my mage just because I was checking on something and I'm like, well, I'm here. I might as well. Hello, Echo Wolf. How are you doing today? Happy Wednesday. Oh, wow. Hmm. I like how, so this person said, basically they added to Aranesh's thread, and they, one of the things, like, obviously they're in support of it. I was shocked. I was honestly expecting way more trolls in the pet battle thread on in the pet battle forums. Maybe it's because our forums just like we don't get visited a lot unless someone comes up against a problem and they want to come complain at us about it. Or a bug or something. But so obviously I was shocked still that overwhelmingly positive. And they said, I know it's annoying because when you decide to update anything, all pets need to be examined in order to assure it's working well. I'm going to disagree there because I don't think they actually do that. Like if they actually examined things that they put into the game for pet battles, then we wouldn't have Shadowlands like the way it was. And I get that it's Shadowlands and that's kind of an outlier, but most of that stuff was probably already done before anything launched. And those move sets plus those stats are just absolutely criminal. So I have to disagree a little bit there. I'm good, can't complain. Can't believe I've been following you since 2018. I can't believe you've been following me. I can't believe it's been that long. Like nope, nope. It definitely hasn't been that long. No way. Cause that'll be what? That's like 8 years this year. That's wild. You'd think they could just make it so that each character's current mod gets automatically saved into the first outfit slot so it wouldn't cause such a mess. You'd think. But that would be the differences, you think. Yeah, no way. It hasn't been 8 years. That's wild. Okay, for this one, we are actually going to pull up the fight I recorded because major pain is a major pain. What did I have here? Oh, that's right. I got lucky with this one, I think. Okay, I think I vaguely remember what I did here. So I don't really care too much about him healing here. What I really care about is whittling away at the back line. And then on his first attack, yeah, I save that to make sure I only get hit by Rampage twice so that my health lasts as long as possible. And that's my thinking there. Or sorry, I only get hit by Rampage once. Two of them get missed because of phase shift. I was getting ready to move to try and click that off. For all the good it would have done me. Okay. This is the one where it was like, oh, I might die here, because if that crits, then you're not going to get that. But it probably wouldn't be the end of the world. I'd probably just bring in, like, the Sprite Darter. Alright, and this was just, you know, do whatever until you die. Okay, I I think I've got the gist of what I was doing yesterday. All right. Twilight Clutch Sister. And then I'll probably actually sim this out. Oh wait, I need something speedier. So it doesn't have to be that. What is this? 244. So enemies. Oh wait. Oh, it can't be you. Cause it's beast, then mechanical, then elemental. Obviously, we don't have anything to deal with the elemental. Like, we don't really have any aquatic. Like, I could totally run this with the strategy that I already have on Zufu's with the Moon Touch Netherwell. That I'll probably have that one copied over, maybe, like at least for the first pet. Like, I'll probably copy that, but it's such a good pet in dealing with everything because of the blind and the dodge. But super limited time pet. Don't know why they haven't put it back up on the store. Anyway, we're gonna run this and we'll see. Hello, Katie, aka Tardy. How are you doing today? Happy Wednesday. Already going the way the other one did. That Lua era, just oof. Oof. That was nice. Means we might have a better chance of making it through making it through the next rampage hit. Yeah, still pretty close. I'll have to run it through the sim and work out any bugs or issues. Fine, and you? Nice to meet you again in this new year. I'm doing okay. I'm just, you know, running through the, unfortunately, running through all the achievements. Which, as Quintessence pointed out, because this is doable right now, that if you do all of the achievement sets in the pre-patch, it means there is 100% zero pet battle content left over for you to do in Midnight besides actual just pet collecting. This didn't work out too terrible. That's not bad. Not for this fight. 23 rounds for this fight's pretty decent. Oh yeah, and yesterday we were joking about how we're all, we definitely need them to be once per day per account because selling those well-loved toys and the expired pet food is really just gonna, like, the gold farmers, man. They're just gonna be coming here in droves. Alright, time for Eastern Kingdoms. So yeah, I'm taking full advantage of the fact that my sub is done in like 2 months. And so I'm going to get the achievements done. Plus, it'll be a way to check and see if we'll actually be able to get the pets for the achievement sets now, or if there's going to be some kind of funky bug where we don't get them because... Who did I... Her. Okay. I'm in the beta and it's so sad to see so few battle pets. It is. And so actually... Alright, let me bring up my... Okay, so obviously I've got the data mining article up. So if you kind of look over here, right, on the right side where it says new pets combat 12 out of 17. So I had it like that because I removed the 4 trading post pets from the count, right? So when you look at it, technically we're getting 17 new battle pets in midnight, according to this. Now we do still have a few of the seals that haven't been released, so those are slotted for the trading post. I don't count trading post pets for expansion launches because at that point you don't know when these pets are going to come up on the trading post. Like some of them, like there's been at least 1 or 2 that have come up that were slotted for the trading post that we've never actually seen come up. Like they've never been released onto the trading post, which is funny because 2025 had like 3-4 months where there were no pet rewards, and it's like, okay, well, what about all these pets that haven't been released and don't seem to be, and were specifically slotted for the trading post. But that aside, I don't count the trading post as pets that are going to be launched on release, so I have it set as 12, right? But actually, for the release of Midnight, that's actually only 9, because I'm pretty sure, now I'm going to check once we get to Twilight Highlands on this pet, but 3 of the vendor pets... So this one, the Emerald Sporebit, Radar, and Scruff, I'm pretty sure those 3 are part of the pre-patch event. 3 are coming next week. Exactly. So realistically, at midnight launch, you're only getting 9 combat pets. Like if we want to be real about it and not count like what's coming in the pre-patch, you're getting 9 pets at launch in the new zones. I think this is Beast Critter? Beast Undead? So even more disappointing getting to do the new content. Beast Undead, yeah. But, it is what it is. All like me. We're gonna do the Thunder skill. Well, we haven't used him much. We'll throw him into the second slot. And then because we don't have any critter attacks for Dragonkin, we'll just leave this one there. Alright, let's do it. Well, and now we're stuck here, so we're just gonna stay. Speed are you? 240. Yeesh. Ha! I mean, unfortunately, it still gets an undead round, but it's not doing anything. Like, ugh. And pass. Okay. So the event in the Twilight Highlands comes next week. Thank you for letting me know. I did think it was weird. Like, I flew into the Twilight Highlands because I did have a... I randomly had the quest from, what's his name? Dawes Banefury to turn in. I was just like, I literally have no idea why I have this quest in my, my log, but, you know. So I turned it in, and I thought it was weird, because I was pretty sure the Twilight Highlands stuff was going to be for the pre-patch. Oh. I bet you they didn't fix this. I'm gonna have to, like, fly. Because, look. Watch this. Look, you can't go anywhere else to fly. It's stuck on this map. I'm only seeing that in the Eastern Plaguelands. But I do find that amusing, kind of. That you can't move it around. And when we are level up all of this new pets, no more pet battles. Also, I don't see the purpose to collect peaceful pets or pacifist pets. Toys mounts got a use, but a pacifist pet don't have any use. I hope something will change in the future. I agree. I think, oh man, I made a post about it in the feedback thread on the beta forums, PTR beta, whatever you want to say, because there are, I think there's 4. There are vendor pets that are peaceful pets, and one of them is the 10,000 undercoin pet. Like, could you imagine getting this pet for 10,000 undercoins and trying to slot it or look it up? And here, actually, I can just pull it up because he should be up. Let's see. Oh, what's his name? Is it the Creepazoid pet? Yeah, so this guy, right? Imagine you pull him up. So we'll pull him up here so that you can see what most people are going to see. Look at this. You pay 10,000 undercoins for this pet, and you click on him to look at him and see what he's got, and this is the screen you're met with. This right here, 10,000 undercoins, this is what you get. I have no ill will at all toward the customer service for Blizzard. You know, the human ones, the AI, whatever. No ill will toward the actual human customer service agents, the probably like 3 of them that are still in existence. This is going to make people angry. And once you learn it, you can't refund it. So if they don't know that it's a peaceful pet, I don't know what it looks like on the vendor. I didn't check the vendor on there. I didn't know if, like, most people are going to see that it's a companion and they're just going to buy it because they, you know, they need to dump their coin or something. Exactly. Why have to spend my time's resources for that? Yes. So I think there's going to be some angry people, right? Like, if you didn't know about this and you did this and you spent 10,000 undercoin on this, like, like, what is this? What are we doing? Anyway. Good lord. Critter Beast Magic. We're gonna move you here. We're going to grab Stormy. Excuse me. So yeah, no, I think there's going to be at least a handful of angry people. Cuz that's not the only one. That's just the one with the most, right? Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, I just whew, it's not even cute fancy. So it's not. I will say I do like the new models of like the explodey guys, but at the same time, like I don't know why you're expecting people to pay 10,000 undercoin for a pet that can't battle. Like what are we doing? Just wild. Yeah, so like I could see that. Okay, no, I can't see it for not having abilities at all. Like I can't agree with that one. Like you're never going to get me to agree that paying 10,000 undercoin for a peaceful pet will be anything but egregious. But like maybe on the absolute outside, if it was a pet that like one of the new like immature behemoth pet looking things, right? Where is he? Okay, so one of these. Like I still will not agree on 10,000 undercoin for a pet that can't battle. Like I'm never ever 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 going to agree to that. But like this guy, he's one of the cool new models, right? Or maybe like one of the new wiener dogs. That looks like Luma. Like maybe one of these, right? I could see people wanting to pull out like I'm not gonna finish that sentence. One of the dachshunds. I'm not gonna use the other term along with the words pull out, but 10,000 undercoin for a pet that can't battle? What? No. Nope. 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 Never gonna get me to agree with that. I don't care how cool the model is. It's not happening. No way. Nope. Not in a million years. Like, I don't mind the ugly pets. I have a soft spot in my heart for the quote unquote ugly pets, right? I think they're cool. I think they're cute. But no. Just no. Now, okay. My caveat, right? My one caveat. Where the heck am I flying? Why won't that marker come up on that? Thorium point. So if they tried to do what they did before, right? Where the kobold we had that was supposed to be like a pet that could vendor stuff. What else could he do? Vendor and repair. If you wanted to do that, if you wanted to have a utility pet for 10,000 undercoin, I could see that. Like if you wanted to do a non-combat utility pet where you could like vendor and repair, cool, right? Like go for it. I could see that. That would be worth it. I think 10,000 undercoin for a pet that could vendor and repair. Yes, that's worth 10,000 undercoin. One or the other, either vendor or repair, not worth it. That's still not worth it to me. That still wouldn't be worth it. I'd need both. But what's the point to give us the safari achievement, a battle pet, but for the family familiar, we got a pacifist one? Why? You have a battle pet for non-battling, but you got a pacifist for battling. Yeah, that's another feedback thing that I pointed out. I was like, really? You're giving us non-combat pets for the combat achievements, but the collecting achievement, you're giving us a battle. Like, it's so we've been joking a little bit on what we think happened, and honestly, I think a lot of the sour attitude toward toward pet battles from a lot of the like one percenters who wanted to get the indecipherable fell cycle, right? The mount. They made a stink, such a stink over having to pet battle to get that mount. That I think part of it comes from those sour grapes, right? Where they couldn't just go in with any of the pets that they just happened to have in their roster that were on the list and just wipe the floor and move on and go get their pet. Like, they had to actually strategize and have the pets that were better for it. And, well, why do I have to do this? I don't know, buddy. Why do I have to mythic raid to get certain pets? Why do I have to do Mythic Plus to get certain pets? Why do I have to PvP to get certain pets? Why do I have to do this or that or that? Every aspect of the game has that, but you want to be special and not have to do this one thing because I didn't keep up with my collection like everyone else. That's a you problem. Anyway, so yeah, we feel like some of the sour grapes came about from that. People just complaining because they couldn't just face roll that pet battle in particular to get them out. And anytime they try to attach pet battling to anything, people just complain. And it's like, skill issue, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah. Who's up next? Ooh, we're going to. It's not Duran. Duran's the other guy. Fortis. So the Dragonkin, 240, 260. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we will have where is he? We'll have you first, since you'll actually be speedier. And then yeah, we'll have you next. And we'll do Moonfire. And yeah. I'll do a little Nightwear Whelpling in the third slot. Why not? But yeah, it makes no sense to force people to battle for non-combat pets. It's really silly. I guess it's kind of a way to force you into I wouldn't say it's a way to force you into doing not necessarily the battles, but like if you want one of the combat pets, now you have to do the peaceful pets. So if you only wanted to collect the combat pets, you have to engage with the new peaceful pet click to capture system. And that's just kind of rude. I'm just gonna say it, that's rude. But oh, I'm trying to decide how I want to, because people can only do one per day, so I'm torn if I want to have like every single fight and have a humanoid video and then have all of the tamers and all of their humanoid battles, or if I want to break it up and have like all humanoid but for the different zones, so all the humanoid for Kalimdor, all the humanoid for Eastern Kingdoms, and then all the humanoid for Northrend. or if I want to do it by tamer. But I feel like it would be easier to just have it by family instead of by tamer, because you can only do once per day per account. And having it all by family instead of tamer means you're not having to like look up different videos for each one. So I'm leaning toward doing it by family, which would be a little different than my usual, because normally it's by tamer because they are, shock of all shocks, repeatable. But alright, we're gonna blitz until we get our Dragonkin buff, which, lucky for us, is right off the bat. And then we're gonna whirlwind to do that. Booyah! Aww. Oop. Okay. Oh no. I wanted to do one more whirlwind. Oh well. I've got to stop, like, hovering over the swap button. That's why it keeps coming up. That wasn't too bad. Oh, let me pull up the list. Oh. Here, I don't think so, except the Midnight Safari. There we go. Alright. So yeah, I think I'm leaning toward doing it by family. That way you only have to have one video for like all of the tamers. But I don't know if I want to do it in one long video or if I want to do it by, like, so Kalimdor humanoid and Eastern Kingdoms humanoid and Northrend humanoid, like, you know what, I might separate it out by the zones just because, or the continents, just because they are a different achievement set, so that would make more sense, I guess. So we'll do that. And then, like, I could probably get most of that going, like, tonight, because most of it's, I don't even need the footage. Like, really no need for the footage. Just have, like, a video version of Zufu's, I guess. Guess I could throw the footage in there. It's just, at this point, it's just like, why? What does it matter? Right, now we're at Durin. Flying, critter, and elemental. We're just gonna bring in the Nexus Whelp. Oh, that's not the wrong screen. Nexus. I'll grab Stormy. Actually, hold on. The Rampage. Wait, which one hits more? Face bite. The last one's elemental. We don't really have anything for that. So. Oh. Well done you. I'm thinking way too hard for how easy these strategies are. I'm just like trying to do my usual big braining and it's not necessary. Like definitely don't need to worry about any of the big braining stuff. Just do your thing. Rude. Oh, take that. Ouch. You would think to use my own abilities against me? Not today. Lindsay. That's right. Lindsay's gonna be super easy. Is it Lakeshire or Camp Everstill? Shire. I should have known. It's by a lake. Let me see what her pet's speeds are. Gotta be further up here. The order's weird because... Oh, wow. Those are really slow bunnies. Fastest one is 245. Okay. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? Where are you, Scaly? Toxic Bite. Or Rip Toxic Bite. Fade. You should do a little bit of Rampage. I guess we can just keep you in slot 3. I'm not going to use Flame Breath on that one. Although the Soreless Catchling. You know what? We're going to complete the set. I'm going to have our little... I love these models. I think they're so cute. Probably one of my favorite models. You know what? We're going to do Pheromones because both of the backline are... both of the backline are critters, so it only makes sense to do Pheromones. I don't think you do have Toxic Bite, so we'll probably Rip Pheromones Fade. And then Toxic Bite. Again, I am 100% overthinking this. You definitely don't have to go this in-depth with all of it. You can probably just grab Chrominius and just bite and ravage. And that's probably one of the strategies I'll put up on Zufus is just Chrominius, bite, ravage. Like, because he's faster than all of them, I think, which is funny because Chrominius isn't faster than anybody. Let's look. Yeah, he's faster than all of them. Feel free to just bite and ravage. I'm overthinking all of this by a large margin. I don't think it made a difference to the back line, but that's okay. But yeah, definitely probably just Chrominius, like... Rip and Ravage. Or not Rip and Ravage, sorry, Bite and Ravage. That wasn't fun at all. It was for me. I lied, that wasn't fun. It wasn't fun for you because you lost. It wasn't fun for me because it was boring. Yeah, we'll go to Everessa next. Ooh. Marshtide. Let's see. What does she have? Lindsay, Eric. Where are you? Everessa. Flying. Definitely grab a Nexus Whelp. Aquatic. Definitely gonna have to grab. Kalandu. And Beast. He's a beast. He's got fangs, razor sharp ones. Massive paws, killer claws for the feed. Hear him roar, see him foam, but we're not coming home till he's dead. Good and dead. Kill the beast. Alright. Apparently I can't sing and type, which, you know, shocker. What was the last one? Last one was a beast, right? Because I think that's why I was singing. I liked that. But yeah, it's as of how things stand right now, it's going to take 10 days to do this achievement set. Fun stuff. I said 7 at first because, you know, like a whole week, and then I realized there's 10 families, and so I had to fix that. Messed that one up. All right, let's go. I'm gonna need a snack before I go spar. Well, if I spar. I don't know if my friend is going to be in the mood today. If not, I'll just stay home and do mitt work. Since he's already halfway, I'm just gonna leave him in. Ha! Ha! You can't stun me. Ah, that's close though. Alright, we'll see if we get any attacks going here. We should. That was kind of funny. Oh no! A whole 139. Should we just... Let's overkill it. We're gonna overkill this. Just because we can. Oh, we've got to fly for this one. Because for some reason, they've never added a flight path to... Right? They didn't add a flight path here. Still have to just fly there. Which is lame, but what you gonna do? But yeah. I don't know. I feel like they are stubbornly refusing to make any change. I mean, they didn't even tell us that they were changing. It wasn't in the patch notes. So the change to how you capture wild pets, where you just click on them, uh, that wasn't in any patch notes. Oh yeah, that's elemental. Undead. Oh, let me see what I did for this one. And they only put them in the patch notes when they got called out. Or not patch notes, sorry. They only put them in the forums as a feedback thread after they got called out for it. And so the funniest part to me is that they put it up and they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do all of these iterations. And guess what they never did? They did not iterate on anything, actually. And so, yeah. And they haven't responded in the thread at all since the thread was made. We'll probably, if he uses, we'll probably use that until he's done using rot. So I had the Nexus Whelp, and I had the Bright Darter, and the Nether Fairy. What's the speed? Okay, that's why we had that one, because 300. But yeah, and no one's responded. They haven't said, oh, we iterated on this, because they haven't iterated on anything. Literally nothing. Yeah. It's just been kind of really disheartening. It's already going better than it did in the video. Okay. We'll just go ahead and swap at this point. And, I don't know. It would have been nice to get some kind of, hey, we've heard your feedback, we've passed this along, or we're doing this, or we're not doing that, and, you know, suck it up, Buttercup. You know, like, like anything at this point. Why doesn't anyone want to give any feedback? Maybe it's because you don't listen. And, you know, the people giving feedback on the pet battles, on the beta forums, on, like, the PTR forums, were not... I mean, most of us who do it do this a lot, right? So, like, Lazy, Remty, like, most of the people who are giving the feedback were not just some casual fly-by-night people who just like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. Right? Like, we do this a lot. And I mean, you wouldn't tell people who do, like, who write guides or everything, you know, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't ignore the people who give you class feedback. So I why are you ignoring the people who clearly have more time in this system than any of the current devs who are working on it? I just the mind it boggles. Let's see. What do I know? Again, what do I know? Might be able to do this in 4 rounds. See? Ta-da! Boy, I sure am glad that they upgraded everything to level 25. I'm so glad it scales. Alright, so this one should be mechanical, flyer, and then critter. That's what I was thinking. Alright, Nexus. Get you in for the flyer. We'll get Chrominius in for the critter. Okay. Mechanical. We need something with conflagrate. I don't know how fast he is. We're gonna grab you. Except we only got 4 more battles. Let's see. Still no word. I'll have to call my workout partner a slacker. That's rude. So we're gonna swap. No reason to make this last longer than necessary. Um some of you might have heard my orange cat earlier. And what's so funny is he talks a lot, but he also sometimes he sounds like a chicken. Like how the chicken sounded when it got hit. That's kind of what he sounds like. And it's so funny. So sometimes we'll just like make chicken noises at him and he makes chicken noises back. This one's all beast. So let's probably grab the thunder scale. No. Look, I hit a tree branch on my paladin yesterday, and I died. And I'm like, really? That had to happen on stream? Alright. I guess if it was gonna happen. Thunderscale. Thornborn. Stormy. Probably don't even need to heal them. But we will, just because we're nice. We're nice to our pets. Ah, we should have just done that first. We could have skipped that. That's okay. See? Pretty much single petting this. And we did. It would have been 6 rounds if I hadn't waited. Wait, how did you die from hitting a tree branch? So I hit the tree branch. It stopped me in midair. And I was hitting my space bar to try and start flying again. So I was dragon riding, obviously, and it wouldn't. It was just like, nope, we're not flapping our wings. I was hitting my space bar, trying to get it to, lift off. I had vigor, and I dropped straight down and I died. I'm pretty sure I had vigor. I can probably look it up. I have my VOD downloaded so I could pull the battles from it to throw into the to toss up on YouTube, but yeah, no, I was hitting my space bar and I died. I just dropped straight down like a rock. Is it the rebel camp? I'm pretty sure it's the rebel camp. I don't know why I'm tabbing. My brain, it's dead. At rebel camp. So yeah, I don't know. I hit the tree. Pretty sure I had vigor. Let's see. Downloads. Alright. I think it was here. Maybe not. It was on my paladin, so it had to be... Had to be somewhere in here. I'm pretty sure I hit a tree going into... Oh, I think it's here. Yeah, look. I have vigor. I'm hitting the space bar and I just die. I just die. Sorry, I didn't mean to pull that up. I'm trying to get my other screen back up. Yeah. I had vigor, you saw it. I had charges and everything. And I hit a tree branch. I dropped straight down. You could see me trying to hit it too, because the cooldowns were going off. I just dropped straight down and died. I'm like, how does this happen to me? Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I was still mounted. I didn't dismount, nothing. Just died. Just died, dropped straight down, hit a tree branch. Died. How? Because when I just said, I was like, I had vigor too. I was like, did I have vigor though? And now pulling it up, I did. I had like 5. No, it didn't dismount me. I was still mounted. I don't know. It's wild. Just disrespectful. Yeah, no idea. It was just so funny because I was like, really? Like, did I just die to a tree branch? Yeah, I sure did. No idea. So, beware the tree branches. It's like the game decided you were no longer on a flying mount because there's just no way you should be able to take falling damage whilst on a flying mount. I don't know, bro. I have no idea. I don't know. Flight privileges revoked for reckless. That's exactly what it is. They were like, she can't fly. She just straight up ran into a tree. That's it. Like, revoking it mid-flight. Like, gone. Like, no, clearly you're drunk. Drinking while flying. And on like, oh man, and the paladin. Oof, bad luck. Bad luck for defenders of the light right now. Yeah, so that was fun. Like, so I think this stream, right? Didn't I hit a tree branch this stream and I was like panic hitting the button going, "No, no, no, not again." And it didn't happen to me again. Oh, I just hit a tree branch and now it logged me out. Now it's just like, "Oh, you're talking crap." So we're not only revoking your flying privileges, we are taking away your ability to play the game. You're talking trash. That's it. No more for you. Man, what is it with me and tree branches? And this is kind of why I have problems in See? Look at that. More damage on a flying mount. I'm just special, I guess. I don't know. Maybe if you'd stop putting your places in weird spots. Like, why? There we go. See, and you think this is bad, right? You see my navigational skills while I can fly and I can have a top-down view of all of this. I am so much worse when we're not allowed to fly and I'm on the ground. Okay? You don't understand how rage-inducing it is for me after we got flying to be stuck riding on the ground because I literally have the navigational skills of a tree stump. Like, I don't have them. So flying is the only way I can get around, like, even marginally okay. And so that's why I didn't play Draenor. That's why I didn't play WoD. Honestly, 100%. The reason I didn't play WoD was because every time I logged in and I realized I was going to have to get Pathfinder to be able to fly, I got angry again and logged out. Like, that's 100% why I did not play WoD. Was because of Pathfinder. Because I'm so bad. I am so bad. Getting disconnected is a really annoying common skywriting bug. Yeah. So yeah, I know that one's not necessarily new. I've definitely had that happen on more than a few occasions. It's almost like I think it has something to do with no, maybe I'm conflating the wrong things. I was like, maybe the server's like, you're doing something cheaty. Like, because you're going so fast that like the server can't connect. Like it's something like that. I feel like I heard at one point. I could be totally off base. But no, like I am so bad at navigation. Like you do not understand how freeing it was for me when we got flying in Burning Crusade, because I was literally so bad at navigation when I first started playing the game. I didn't leave the crossroads. Like I was on my troll. I didn't leave the like I didn't really leave like the barrens at all because I could find everything. I wasn't getting stuck on stuff. Like I wasn't ending up having to go around a mountain because I went the wrong, like you don't understand how much of a boon flying was for someone like me. I do believe it is some sort of anti-cheat mechanism that gets triggered. Yeah, it's just crazy that they've never fixed it. Yeah, that's what I thought I heard. But again, I'm no expert. I just know that sometimes I have to hold my breath because I'm like, oh no, I'm going too fast, and the game's like screaming at me, and then it either disconnects me or it doesn't, and I breathe a sigh of relief. But yeah, oh my god, I'm so bad at navigating. Like it's horrendous. I'm so bad. So bad. But yeah. I'm gonna do, we'll keep you up. We'll swap that and then we'll grab a Nexus. So, yeah. You do know you can enable steady flight to get to old flying back though, right? I didn't know that they buffed the speed. And yes, I do know, and sometimes I do switch over to it. But I have actually found like sometimes the dragon riding I mess up less, if that makes sense, because I'm going fast enough that like, and it's so funny like because my reaction times I guess are just really bad when I'm actually really good at timing when I'm sparring. My jab, like everyone says the most annoying thing about me is my jab because my timing is so precise. But apparently all that goes out the window uh in WoW. Like I just can't. But yeah, I know I can steady flight. It seems so slow. And sometimes it's going fast enough that by the time I have a chance to react, I'm past whatever I would have hit. So in a way it's better, but when I mess up with dragon riding, oh it's bad. Oh, it's so bad. Like it's like before you could kind of just like hit X and like I guess it's X, right? And just lower yourself to the ground. But no. Um no. So I mess up more with steady flying, but it's more egregious on uh when I mess up on dragon riding. It's so bad. Like what you saw back there with what you call it, with trying to get to that flight master, like that's nothing compared to just how poorly I do. Yeah, no, I'm a mess. The only way I get through this game is just by sheer force of how many years I've played it. Like if we're being 100% honest here, like that's it. That's the only way I manage. Oh no, not the lift off. Lame. Sad whelp noises. So the only reason I don't worry about Cyclone on this fight with Dragonkin is because they take weak damage from it. So I don't even worry about trying to cleanse it. But I will cleanse it for other families. Alright. Oh my gosh. That was... Well, aside from that little kerfuffle there at the end. And yeah. Yeah, I've got video proof. I don't know. I was still mounted. I still had vigor. You saw me trying to panic press that button and it just, nope, I died. And I even had long enough to fall, right? That it should have at least caught up at some point to let me fly. Because I fell far enough to die. No. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today. I will be back tomorrow, and tomorrow is going to be flying, because I do it in order, because I'm boring like that. So tomorrow will be the Flying Family Battler, because I need to eat before I go work out. I'm going to punch things, whether it's people, a bag, or mitts, I don't know yet, but I will be hitting things soon TM. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who stopped by today, whether you lurked, chatted, subbed, bit, whatever. Anything and everything from one side to the other. I just want to say thank you. The stream is awesome because you are awesome. So I hope you have a great rest of your day or night. I will see you tomorrow, and until then, happy battling.